What's up, guys? Hey, it has been a while since we've done a fellas episode.
Yeah.
A little bit of a time has passed. We've grown. He's grown more of a beard. I've shaved more of mine off.
This probably took me about as long as our last fellas episode. Because
Nice.
it just grows at
Hell yeah.
such a slow pace.
Dude, I think my skin cells just die so quickly, and I don't know. I think since I'm getting a longer beard or whatever, I'm just gonna die soon. That's what I'm trying to come at.
Yours is like the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like you could be in the bathroom like, "Nyeh," and then you go to bed and you wake up like in the middle of the night and have to use the bathroom or something, and you look in the mirror and it's back.
Dude, no shit, okay? I almost got wrote up at a job that I was working at because the guy was like, you need to shave your face. I was like, I fucking shaved this morning, dude. And he was like, you didn't shave this morning? I was like, I swear on my life, I shaved my face this morning. And dude was like, no, you need to go home and shave. I was like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving to shave, man. But
Yeah, I would be like, if I'm going home to shave, I'm staying home.
yeah, and I like, that's back in the day whenever I used like an actual like Gillette, like Mach, whatever the number is. And like, I freaking hated straight shaving. Now, like, if I do anything, it's like all electric trimmer, you know?
Yeah,
I freaking hate actual.
I guess that's the good thing about not having extremely crazy facial hair is I've always used an electric razor,
Yeah.
and it's been fun.
It's-
Like, my dad was the same way. He always used an electric razor, and that's how I got into using
Yeah.
an electric razor, and it's always treated me well, so.
But, dude, so we just did the last Warriors Den, the Warriors Den 11, and, man, it was kind of like, there's some good
It
fights
was
in the card.
strange. I mean, at the time I was having fun,
Yeah.
and then, like, I felt weird afterwards, because
Yeah.
I was like, some of these fights ended really weird.
Really
weird.
Like, yeah, not good fights. And to me, the thing that was weird is, like, it was such a stacked card for me. I was like, I'm freaking stoked about like 90% of these fights, and that's the fighting business, man. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you can always be let down. Like, on paper, it looked beautiful, dude.
Mhm.
In my opinion, I've been watching, like, me and you both seen like 4 or 5 of their fights already in an amateur world. That's a good bit of fights, and like, it's just a build up. Like, I was stoked. I knew people from every single fight, and I was stoked about them all.
Yeah.
And there was only a few that I was like, yeah, at the end of it, you know?
The weirdest part about it for me, though, was every time we've done commentary before, it's always kind of like a slow drag in a way through the amateur kickboxing
Yeah.
fights and then
And
the
then
youth
it
fights.
picks up.
And then when the MMA fights get here, it's like fireworks. It
Yeah.
goes, it's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
This one was the opposite.
Yeah, it was almost the exact opposite.
Because the amateur kickboxing fights and even some of the youth fights
Yeah.
were so much more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them ended with finishes, and it was crazy
Yeah.
good. And then the MMA fights got here, and they were kind of boring.
And it's not even that they were just like boring necessarily. It was
yeah.
that there was weird circumstances,
Yeah.
like Caleb Austin's fight.
One of the fights,
Hammer
there was
fisting?
like 5 low blows,
Yes.
back and forth.
Yes.
They were just kicking each
Lifted
other in the
dude off
nuts
the ground.
constantly,
Yeah.
kneeing each other in the nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the fights got stopped.
You can take
Because-
5 minutes to a nut shot, man.
Yeah,
5
and
minutes.
so
they probably took
it lengthened that
Yeah.
fight by a ton.
It was supposed to be a 10-minute fight maybe, and it turned out to be like 15,
Yeah.
20-minute fight because
Both
dude
of
was
them.
just like sitting down, like hunched over, like, oh, my balls!
Yeah, I mean at least 2 shots apiece.
Dude,
for
and
both
no
fighters.
joke. Yeah, so like, first one, dude, alright, it was Mark and Creech
Mhm.
were the fighters. And so the first one, Mark hit Creech or something like that. And then Creech hit Mark back, but lifted him off the ground, dude. Like, no shit, both feet came off. I was in disbelief,
Yeah.
and my balls hurt.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, hold on. Sorry. Dun, 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 dun.
AC.
Whoops.
Gotta stay frosty.
I know, right? Ah, and I'm back.
But yeah, that one happened, and then there was the Caleb Austin fight.
Yes, and that was such bullshit. I was so
It
stoked
was
for that fight.
complete bullshit.
Mhm.
And I mean, everybody that saw the fight knew it.
Yeah.
He got hit. I mean, it was once kind of hard, and then the second one that hit him was pretty hard in the back of the
Yeah.
head. But it was the shots before that and the fact that he was getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, he was. He was not standing a chance. And let's clarify this really quick, too. This is not a punch against Todd Murray's judging, like, or
Was it
reffing.
Todd Murray?
Todd Murray was
Oh
the
yeah,
ref,
it was
but
him.
It wasn't a. This isn't a jab at like the way that he reffed or anything like that. I'm
No.
not saying his call was wrong.
Mm-mm. Because
But-
clearly there was
Yeah.
multiple shots to the back of the head, so it
Mhm.
needed to be addressed.
Yes.
But as a fighter, you have the chance to keep going or not.
Mhm.
And this guy quit.
Yeah.
He quit, and so they had to rule it a no contest.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's bullshit because Caleb Austin was dominating.
Yeah, and
fight.
the fights before that, like, so the Warrior Stim Fighting Championship 10, his fighter couldn't get cleared. Like, he couldn't get his blood pressure down. So if Caleb didn't get a fight then, Caleb had a really impressive starting to his MMA career. So he's
Yeah, I
done
watched that
one
fight.
really good fight,
Mhm.
and then the second one, the dude ended up not being able to clear. And then I've been so stoked to see this kid fight again. And then
And
he's
this
just
stuff
getting
like this
robbed.
keeps
And I'm
happening.
like, man, he is such a good talent. He needs to be able to keep going.
Yeah.
And then, so that happened. And then Malin's fight, man. That was such a weird fight for me, man. And
Yeah.
I went back and watched it. I think it's while he was up against the cage. Guy got him a couple of times.
He got him. I went back and watched it a couple
Yeah.
times too, and even when I was doing commentating, I listened to myself say something about those body shots.
Mhm.
But I guess at the time I forgot
Yeah.
that they happened because they didn't really look too terribly
Yeah.
strong. Like it wasn't like, oh my god, he nailed him.
I know this sounds dumb, dude, but like in a sense, that area of your body is kind of like your chin. You can condition in a sense to your body shots. You can like strengthen. You know how to breathe whenever you're getting punched, and like breathe out and make sure you're not getting the air knocked out of you and stuff. And just you can kind of condition those parts of your body in a sense. I mean, you can still get knocked out no matter
Yeah.
how conditioned your chin is or how
Yeah.
conditioned whatever. But
Like,
I think that might have been one of the things there too.
I mean, the more that I watched it, the more that I thought in my head is this was Malin's first fight after cutting weight.
Yeah.
Like he's never had to cut weight and then go into a fight before,
Mhm.
so he didn't know how his body would react.
Yeah.
And I think that the weight cutting affected him in a way that he didn't know about.
Yeah.
And so whenever he got in there and he was going for the takedown, he didn't have the same strength that he normally did because
Yes,
of that weight cut.
exactly.
And he didn't know that would happen to
Mhm.
him.
Yeah.
So it was kind of one of those things where he learned from this fight, and I think that that's going to help him come back even better
Yeah.
in his next one because now he knows what it's like
Yeah.
to have that weight cut on him when he goes into the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, before this next one, he's a little more closer to the weight
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
won't have to
Exactly.
cut as
Mhm.
much weight, so he won't be affected
Yeah.
as much. And I mean that affects your I mean it affects everything.
Mentally
It probably
affects you.
affected his body
Yeah,
to where
and your
those
kidneys, 'cause
shots
they're processing stuff
to where
differently.
those shots hurt him when normally it wouldn't
Mhm.
have.
And like one thing too, whenever you're losing a lot of weight, you're losing a lot of water weight there at the end. You're just pretty
Mhm.
much shedding water, and that affects your kidneys pretty bad there too.
Yeah.
So, but I
But
think
looking forward to him
yes,
coming back. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, he's been a champion before, and I think he's going to be a champion again.
Yeah.
And he's got that mentality. So
Yeah, and I mean, kudos to him too. The way that he handled it at the end of the match, like he put the belt around dude. He didn't have to do that. That was really cool of him.
Yeah.
And he just pretty much was like, "Hey, I'm relinquishing my super heavyweight title." So he doesn't plan on going back up in weight.
I mean that's
And-
good.
yeah.
Because it gives him more practice to get his heavyweight style right before he goes pro.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And that was the first time I had like any kind of emotional stake in a fight.
Yeah,
in
me
an
too.
amateur fight.
Yeah.
Even UFC or anything. Like we know Malin. Like we sponsor him and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like we were pulling for him. And it was just so heartbreaking to talk to him after that fight.
I know. I felt so bad, man.
Because I was like, God, that it sucks. Like,
Yeah. And, we're going to have him on our podcast, I think, not this coming up week, but next week, I think. And so hopefully, I mean, I don't know, we'll be able to get his insight on the whole thing. Because, like, we see it from our perspective. And,
yeah,
he's got, I'm sure, a totally different thing.
like that's the thing about commentating. A lot of people, when they see their fights and us commentating, they might take things personally.
Yeah. I know
But-
for a fact people have gotten mad at me for it.
But like we just call it like we see it.
Yeah.
We don't. It's not like we're sitting there like, yeah, I hope this guy gets his ass kicked. No,
Yeah.
like we're just calling it as we're seeing it. And
Yeah.
if you're doing something in that fight that we see, we're gonna call it.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
nothing against you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, I've had this happen to me before where I've called a fight kind of harshly on a fighter because of the way that he was fighting. Like, he didn't do what he could have done.
Mhm.
Like, there's a lot of holes in his game, and I said a lot about it. And then I talked to him afterwards. It was kind of awkward because like after he had watched the commentary, I know he had seen the fights, and I know he listened to the commentary back and stuff like that. And it was kind of an awkward, like he didn't bring it up. He wasn't like bashing me or anything like that. But it just, like I knew it was kind of a harsh commentary because it was a harsh fight for him. It was like listening to somebody commentate you getting your ass beat. It doesn't sound like a fun thing to do,
Yeah.
And
but see, that to me, that just makes me want to be more motivated to do better next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because you get an outside perspective on what you're doing wrong.
And I've had people actually on other fights that I've commentated 2 of this certain fighters' fights, and I was really excited to see him fight both times because I actually know him pretty well. Like, I grew up with this dude. But both fights for me, I was disappointed, like both times. And I commentated it just like I was watching a fight that I had no clue who the fighter was.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like the dude's kind of raw about it, but it's whatever, man. You can't help the way that the fight goes down. It's not my fault, you know. And the things that I was seeing in the holes in his game that I was saying, like he should work on this. He needs to be, have a higher output or have better cardio to go these rounds.
That's the thing about the fight business. It's not personal.
Yeah.
If you keep taking it personal, you're not gonna do as well as you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't take anything about the fight game personally unless this guy's personally attacking you with insults or something.
Yeah. And kind of to bridge off of that, I was just thinking about this the other day, and I think like he's had a good career, but I think he's starting to George Masvidal. Jorge.
Oh yeah, Jorge Masvidal.
So I like him. I like the 3-piece in a soda thing, but at the same time too, it's kind of exposing a side of him that is going to be a huge weakness in my opinion. Like, he is way too over emotionally involved in all of this stuff. Like, he's just, I'll fight you at the drop of a hat. And that's what you kind of want to see in a fighter entertainment wise, but like in a fighter as a person that you're hiring on your show, like from Dana White's perspective and just from like a stable person's perspective, that's probably not who is going to, be around too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't seem like a stable dude.
It's just it's how he was raised. It's socialization.
Street fighting. Yeah.
Like he was raised in that environment to where that like you essentially had to fight for your life in those situations. Like if you're walking home from school or something and somebody approached you a certain way, you had to fight. You had to do it right then.
Yeah.
Because like
they might stab you or something.
Yeah, it was. There was no rules.
Yeah. The ground rules are
like
there.
I mean, judging from how he was raised, I understand it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you sort of can't bring that mentality into the business aspect of fighting.
Because like, I know this is a dumb way to look at it, man.
I mean,
but, like,
I'm on his side.
Yeah.
As far as the 3-piece and the soda go.
Me too. That's what I was saying.
I saw the videos and I saw what was happening. And
George did have his hands behind his back.
He had his hand behind his back, and the dude came at him
he
was gonna hit him.
Yes, he did.
So in a real life situation, if somebody comes at you like that and you don't hit first, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah, exactly. And people might just think like, he's all bark or something like that. They know now. They know differently. Don't fuck with George. But that's what I'm saying. Like I like that. I like that aspect of it. That whenever I watched that, I was like, yes. And like I remember watching that fight. He just beat the piss out of Darren Till, and I was stoked about that. And then like I heard about the the after fight press conference and all this stuff, and I was like, oh my god, dude. So I was really stoked about it. But then the more I've been seeing like his interviews, and he did a Joe Rogan podcast, and he was very like, it was almost hard for me to watch that one too because he was just very like overly serious.
I don't know if he has a sense of humor, and I think that's what really was abrasive.
Yes.
About him to me and to Joe, I'm pretty sure, because you could tell.
Because Joe was trying to make some jokes, and he's like, "I'm from Florida, man." I was like, "Oh my god!"
I just don't think that Jorge Masvidal has a sense of humor, and I mean, that's fine, but that's not somebody that I necessarily want to talk to.
Yes, exactly.
Because there's not many aspects of my life that I take seriously.
Yeah, me too, man.
Like, I'm joking constantly. Brianna gets on to me because she never knows whenever I'm serious.
Jody does the same thing.
Because I'll say stuff and it's 100% a joke.
Yeah.
And she will get upset or something.
Yeah.
Like, Brianna, we've been together how long?
Yeah.
You should know that I'm joking constantly.
Dude, yeah. And like I guess whenever I was growing up, we'd always try to mess with each other but keep a straight face. Like, that was our thing. Like, don't smile, just keep a straight face and say the dumbest thing you could think of.
That was my thing.
Like, try to make them think you're serious. But, like, I've just adapted that. So, like, now we do it and not even knowing, I guess. But I'm doing that to Jody all the time, and I even do that to the girls, and they're like, what? Is that real? And I'm like, yeah, of course.
That's what happens. Like, I say things just with a serious face like I really mean it.
It's like dry humor.
Yeah. It's 100% ironic, sarcastic, dry humor to the fullest.
But it's just like talking like right now, and people are like, oh, wait, what? Huh? And I'm like, yeah.
That's why I have a hard time talking to people in public, because everything I say is like that.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, but I don't know. But either way, so
to me it's hilarious, but to everyone else I don't think so.
Yeah, I think people, it just goes over their head, man. It just goes over a lot of people's head. But speaking about the UFC, dude, last Saturday I actually flew solo on the freaking did the live stream for Fight Night 151 Ottawa. And dude, did you get to go back and watch the Donald Cerrone Al Iaquinta fight?
I didn't see all of it. I saw a couple of highlights, but I saw the kick.
Dude, holy shit!
Like,
his foot went through his head.
Smashed his face in.
You ever watched on Punisher Warzone where he stabs the knife up through the dude's chin? Mm-hmm. Or no, it's just in Punisher, the first one, I guess. Yeah, it looked like that, but with a foot. Yeah, pretty much that, but with a foot. And then dude even called it. He was like, throwback to Anderson Silva. Mm-hmm. And it was like 8 years ago to almost the day that Anderson Silva did that kick.
Exact same. Straight up.
Dude, but he got that kick twice in a row is what blew my mind. Did it first time, and I was like, holy shit. Did it the second time, and I thought knocked these teeth through his freaking mouth. Did you see that fight where it was a WWE thing, I guess. Nick sent me, where this dude smashed into one of the poles and broke his teeth up into his gums. That's what I thought was going to happen to Al Iaquinta, dude. He looked so beaten up in that fight.
But here's the thing. He went the distance.
He did, yeah.
That's
he got dropped twice. 2 times that would have put any normal person out.
Like, that's what people don't understand about Al Iaquinta. He's always come in as this guy that everybody's like, who the heck is this guy?
Yeah.
And he came in there with Khabib and went the distance with Khabib.
On a week's notice, dude.
Yeah, on a week's notice. And then went in there with Donald Cerrone and toughed it out, and they went back and forth.
Yeah. Dude.
I hope he stays with it. Like,
me too.
I don't want to see Al Iaquinta fight anyone less than his caliber now. I want to see him go in there against somebody like Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, dude.
Or freaking, like, Tony Ferguson.
Dude, that would be a really fun... But hold on, though. It would be a fun fight to watch, but I think for the wrong reasons. It's the same reason you'd probably pay to go watch Homer Simpson boxing.
Oh, yeah.
Because you just know he's going to get the shit beat out of him, and Tony Ferguson could beat the shit out of him, and dude's not going to go down.
Yeah.
So it might be like... I don't think they're in the same weight class, but if him and the Damage fought each other...
Oh, yeah.
But Damage is actually more of like a submission specialist.
Yeah, he's like wrestling, grinding kind of style. But
and then,
Donald Cerrone,
dude, holy shit,
that guy, he has the most wins in UFC history.
Yeah,
and he's still fighting. So he's still building that record.
And legacy. He's actually on the up. He's not,
The best part about Donald Cerrone right now at this point in his career is he's going for the title.
Yes.
Like before he moved to lightweight, he was just kind of fighting to keep fighting. He wanted to fight anybody, it didn't matter. Now he's got this goal. And you see how dangerous of a fighter it's made him.
Yeah.
With every single fight he's had at lightweight.
Dude,
he's coming for the title.
He's done so good. Like the first fight, well, the fight right before this last one, where he fought that younger guy, what's his name? It's like, crap.
Oh, I don't remember. But yeah, that younger guy was like,
he was talking so much shit.
I'm gonna beat his ass.
Alexander Hernandez.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, dude. Everybody that's been like, oh, he's old, has been getting the shit beat out of him. So I'd probably watch your mouth about him.
Got the crap kicked out of him.
Dude, that was so good.
Fight.
Second round, I thought it went 3 rounds, but it was just Donald Cerrone beating that ass for 2.5 rounds. That was an amazing fight, dude.
I want to see Donald Cerrone in a title fight as soon as possible.
Because in my opinion, dude, him fighting Khabib, he could win that fight. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well, too.
That's the other thing about Donald Cerrone. A lot of people forget about his dangerous submissions. Like, if you go back to the WEC, Donald Cerrone, like, his his reign as the champion in WC was littered with submission victories.
Yeah.
Like standing guillotine chokes.
Dude, yes.
Triangles. Like he submitted people to triangles, arm bars. I mean, freaking Platinum Mike Perry submitted him with an arm bar.
Oh, yeah, not too long ago.
Like, that picture? Yeah. Like, tearing his arm off? I mean, his submission game is as good as his stand-up game.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget it.
Yeah.
He has, what did I call it? Dynamic submission skills. Where when he gets something, he sneakily gets it, and then he rips it. As soon as he gets it, before you can know that he's got it. Yeah. So he doesn't, like, walk onto something and, like, slowly
get into it.
He will figure it out, and then he's like... And like just jerks you into
which is better. It's almost like fishing, man. As soon as you file that fish bite, you freaking pull that out. But dude, yes, I would love to see him. I know he would won that Conor fight. I don't know, like I feel like Conor would lose that fight honestly right now. Like wherever Conor's at in his life, I don't feel like fighting right now in the MMA or in UFC is really where he's gonna be doing very good right now. I'd love to see him come back. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like I watched his he did a boxing match not too long ago. It was just an exhibition boxing match, and he didn't do too well, man. Even in that, and I was like, shit. He was like the elite, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
Unless he comes back and is like legitimately in it, I don't want to see him back.
I agree, because it's just tarnishing his legacy by now, you know? And that's kind of like, for me, the Anderson Silva fight. That's coming up this Saturday.
Yeah.
I just feel like... I think Anderson Silva's like, hey man, Donald Cerrone's got more wins than me. I'm gonna come back and try to beat him. But dude, like, no. So I don't know. I mean, I like Anderson Silva, but he went 5 rounds with which I don't know, Stylebender, man. Stylebender's last fight with freaking Kevin Gastelum.
Fight of the year, almost, I would say.
It was definitely there, dude.
It's in the contention.
Yeah, which, dude, the cool thing is now you could actually put that Donald Cerrone Ali Quinta fight in there. But I mean, Donald got rocked, dude. Donald did get. I don't know if he got rocked as much as he got taken off.
He said in a post-fight interview that he was like, I don't know what it was. He's like, they always say I'm a late starter.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was in the back. I didn't want to hit pads. I didn't want to roll. I didn't want to warm up. I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
He was like, I got in there, still wasn't feeling it. And then he hit me a couple of good times. And then it was like something happened. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And then he
Donald
came
Cerrone,
on.
Man. But that, so next Saturday, like, Anderson Silva's going to be fighting, or this coming up Saturday. Silva's fighting. Amanda Nunes is fighting. Jose Aldo's fighting. They've got some big names.
And then another person like Silva, BJ Penn.
Yeah, BJ Penn's fighting on the prelims.
His last few fights have been something to where you're like, oh my god.
I know.
I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
Because he gets beat up so bad.
He does, man. And like, I don't know, man. I remember the good old BJ Penn.
It's not to say that his skills aren't there. It's just that the age has finally caught up to him. That's all it is.
Yeah.
If he was, 10, 15 years younger, it wouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
But it's just age has finally caught up to him.
Which, man, I was watching a thing, and I don't really agree with this dude very often, Oscar De La Hoya. But he was like, man, you got to pay your fighters better. Because he's like, with your guys, he was like, they're having to fight into older age because you're not paying them enough to just retire on their fights.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, my boxers, they're getting millions. Like, your guys are getting tens of thousands, you know? So I do feel bad for some of these fighters, like, dude, they've had such a legacy. BJ Penn should never have to fight again. Shouldn't have to. You know?
I mean, by far.
Yeah.
At least make something in your company where you can draft these old fighters into a position in the company.
I think that's kind of what they're slowly working into, but they've got so many like Forrest Griffin. He runs one of the UFC gyms.
Yeah, he's over. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like Michael Bisping. Did he retire? He retired.
Yeah, Michael Bisping.
So he did retire, and he's now a commentator.
Yeah, he's been doing awesome commentating. He does like some of the like inside whatever things.
Dude, he is so. From whenever he first started in the UFC to now, he's like totally gone 180 on it, and like
he's developed well.
Yeah, because he sucked whenever he first got in there. I just hated his character.
Not
I didn't
that he
understand
sucked fighting.
Yeah,
he
was
just
a good
as
fighter.
A person, I didn't.
Yeah, I was just not a big fan of his. And whenever he got the shit knocked out of him by Dan Henderson, look, man, I'm sorry. I like you now, but at the time, I was just like,
I celebrated.
Yeah, me too. So just, I don't know, man. But there's going to be a lot of good fights on the next Saturday's card. And I've been really like doing these live streams, dude. Getting a little community of people get on there.
Yeah,
it's been pretty good.
I mean, we have some great people that come into the room and talk to us the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love watching the fights and stuff, but I like reading comments and talking to people, too. And it's kind of helping us craft our commentating skills, too, kind of, you know? It's been kind of cool. I don't feel like we're, you know, a DC or a, you know, a Joe Rogan or anything, but they've had probably
years.
Just as long as I've been alive.
Yeah, years.
You know,
I mean,
developing the craft.
Like Joe Rogan's been doing it for so long.
Since like UFC 1, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then freaking Bruce Buffer's been there since the beginning too. He's been there.
Bruce Buffer was doing the announcing before there was even a ring there.
Yeah, there was an episode of Friends that was on the other night, and one of the chicks on there was dating this guy that was doing Ultimate Fighting, and in the episode he fought Tank Abbott.
Oh my God, Tank!
And Bruce Buffer and John McCarthy was in it, and Bruce Buffer had brown hair, like he wasn't gray yet. It was super
I don't think I'm ready to see
young.
that.
Yeah. Tank Abbott even looked young. That's the crazy thing.
Dude, Tank Abbott was a beast. I remember him back in the day. Didn't he kill a guy? Tank killed the dude.
He might have.
I think he did. Freaking killed somebody.
That's a guy that was a legitimate real life fighter.
Yes.
Just straight badass. I don't even think he had any traditional training.
I don't know that he did, honestly, because like you could tell like from
even the way his body was built. He
was
just a solid
he looked
brick
like
of
a tree
dude.
stump, dude. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's kind of like, as with anything, dude, I don't know that some of the old fighters, like, they would definitely be okay, but, like, could you imagine Kim Shamrock nowadays fighting somebody like, what weight would he be in?
He was heavyweight.
Kim
Shamrock, him and Bass Rutten had, like, a long history of a rivalry.
Yeah, he was so good, dude. But, I mean, I don't know, man, like, Kim Shamrock was really good, but I just feel like him versus somebody like I mean, John Jones or somebody in that caliber of fighter, you know what I mean? Now it's just like, dude,
yeah,
you've got guys now that are just.
I mean, and then Ken Shamrock and Tito had that rivalry for a while.
Tito,
they were coaches on the Ultimate Fighter together. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, who didn't Tito hate though, man? I think Tito hated everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, and then that last fight, Tito Ortiz versus freaking not Randy Orton.
Chael Sonnen.
No.
Chuck Liddell.
Chuck Liddell, there you go. Chael Sonnen. I was like, dude, kill Tito.
They fought, remember?
Recently?
Before Chuck Liddell. It was his last he retired at Bellator. And
oh, he did.
After he fought
Chael
Sonnen.
But I thought that was such bullshit. Dude, I swear to God.
And it looked like Chael through the fight.
It did. Ah, man, I swear to God. Chael Sonnen's way better fighter than Tito Ortiz. Let me put that down in the rule books right there. That's somewhere in the...
I don't like Tito. I have never liked Tito Ortiz a day in my life.
Nope.
And I will not like him even after he's gone.
Yeah.
I just do not like that guy.
Yeah, I don't either, man.
He's got the biggest head I've ever seen in my life.
Both physically and mentally. Because he does have a huge head. It's like this cam light back here, but on a dude's shoulders. I can't get behind him, man. I just don't like that guy. And then like
if he was at the top of the Empire State Building and I threw if I had the ability to throw a sweet pea as high as the Empire State Building, I could hit his head. That's how big his head is.
Yeah. Dude, alright, I gotta throw this out there. Random funny story about myself, okay? I've never shared this probably with many people, and I was just thinking about it, okay? Because I got kind of choked up on this drink. It's good. Koisi, is that how Koyos. That's how we decided to pronounce it. Well, I'm drinking it, but at the very bottom, there's like this sediment that's in there, right?
I just got some of that sediment.
Yeah. Well, dude, I don't have another drink, right? So I was thinking about this. I was in high school. I was on a date with a girl. It's our first date, right? We're chilling out in the car after the date, and it's getting to that point where it's like, do we kiss? What do we do right now? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's getting to that kind of semi-awkward. She's like thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, but neither one of us are pulling the trigger because we're both in high school and little kids. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I have a panic attack. And I have amazing panic attacks. They're explosive because I puke, alright? So I'm almost like freaking Kyle on South Park. Dude throws up all over the girl. Well, I don't throw up on the girl. I'm like, hey, I'll be right back. At the time, the house, I lived with my parents because I was in high school. We had like a driveway down here and then like up this hill, another driveway here. And it was probably like a good like 150 yards from here to here. And there's like this building and then my band house. So we're parked up here, band house down here. I like get out of the car and like I know I'm on the verge of puking. I'm like freaking, it's on the cusp. It's in the back of my throat coming out. So I'm like, oh God, I got to get this. So I like run down to the band house, had to get a drink. That's really the main thing because I was getting kind of choked up. Something was in the back of my throat, had to wash it down. Nothing's in the band house but this one Sprite on a windowsill. And I was like, fuck it. Just grabbed it, started drinking it. Dude, I don't know how many spiders, flies, I don't know what was in that drink, dude. It was so bad, but I just got it down. And then I was like, I threw up a little bit in my mouth, I'm pretty sure, just because I knew what was in that drink. And it had been there for weeks, dude. Somebody could have spit it in. I don't know, dude. It was so gross. The worst thing ever. And then, I saw like, composure. Walked back up there. I was like, oh, hey, thought I left something on in the band house. And then, came back up and sealed the deal. And then she left. And I was like, oh, yeah. And puked everywhere. Dude, it was so good. I think the first panic attack I ever had where I threw up was because, like, a girl. Like, I was in Atlanta, and this cute girl at the time, I was, like, not even in high school yet, I don't even think. And she was, like, riding her bike, I was skateboarding, and then she came up to our driveway, and she was, like, talking to me. Right in front of her, dude, okay? Like, we're from here to here. She's talking to me, and my stepmom had just got done making, like, macaroni and cheese and hot dogs. Horrible combination of food. Dude.
This is the worst ever.
I know, we're talking. I'm feeling it coming along, but I can't show any fear, you know? Mm-hmm. Don't show fear to these people, because they'll attack as soon as you show any kind of weakness. So I'm sitting there talking to her, and then I'm like, yeah. And I literally puked right beside her, dude. Like, she's here, I'm here, there's like some bushes right behind me, and I turned around and just projectile vomited mac and cheese and freaking hot dogs all over the freaking grass back there. And then she was like, well, I'll see you around, and then just biked off. I was like, oh God.
That's the worst ever.
I know, that was probably my first panic attack. It's good times tomorrow.
I've had anxiety and panic attacks like that my whole life. I also have a sweating problem, and that didn't help either.
Dude.
That's like the physical version of your vomiting. Yeah. Like, yours comes out in vomit, mine comes out as sweat.
Could you imagine, though, if you're having, like, an anxiety attack and somehow it... But, like, you had to have grip, like a good grip for whatever is causing you anxiety. Maybe you had to climb down something.
Yeah.
That'd be the worst, dude. That'd be the worst.
But, yeah, like, I have had those attacks in my life, but I have such an iron stomach.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen you puke around me.
I mean, I will fight it until it kills me.
You might have thrown up like once that I remember, but I don't actually know. I just remember a lot of people around me throwing up because I threw up.
Yeah.
And it might have been you.
I don't think I did, but I remember being there, and you were like, let's all throw up or something, and everybody, like, people were throwing up, and then you threw up, and I was like, all right, I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
But
oh God,
I have such an iron stomach, so if I didn't have an iron stomach, I would have thrown up like that in certain situations, I'm sure.
I used to puke before every concert, and it's not because I was just like, let's throw up, it's just because I get really nervous and like, and I was taking like different anxiety medication beforehand, and it didn't even help, dude. Like, all that stuff caused was like just... You ever taken kind of like anti-anxiety medication? I don't really even know what they had me on, Xanax or something like that. Maybe, I can't remember what it was. But, dude, they put me on something that I was supposed to take like every day, and then they gave me these like dissolvables under your tongue for whenever you're having a panic attack, it will chill you out. Dude, the everyday pills sucked, right? Because it just like numbed you, like from top to bottom. Like, you're just like, just don't care about stuff, and like, just
everything gives me anxiety, so just make everything not affect me.
Yeah, dude, no shit. Like, I mean, it was just, dude, even like, if you were like doing it, even just doing it, like, you're just like, I don't really care. I mean, like, I'm going through the motions, and it would last forever because you're just not really getting into it at all. You're just like, I don't know. And so, like, but I just freaking hated taking that stuff. And, like, so I took it for maybe like a month or something like that. Got off that, but dude, the ones that they gave me to like put under your tongue and stuff turned me into a straight sociopath. Like I just did not care about whatever anybody else said. I would say the dumbest shit on stage. I just take one of those and then just be like, "Oh, what's up, bitches?" And then I was a turd, man. So I had to stop taking those.
That's kind of how I am in everyday life, though. Like,
dude,
I just don't
you would
care
be
about...
way worse on these.
I just don't care about anybody else's feelings these days.
Man,
like, I don't even care about my own, much less
Did
anyone
I offend
else's.
You? Yeah.
Like,
nice.
People are grown up. Like,
yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm like, people are grown up. They have the ability to decide how they feel about certain things.
Yeah.
And like, if anything I do offends you, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you can be offended or you can not be offended.
Yeah.
Get on with your life.
Dude.
Like,
yeah. And that's like, yeah, I mean, like, that's, you know, you don't have the power to control the situation, but you can control how you react to the situation type thing. So, like, hey, man, you can't control what I'm going to say to you, but you control how you react when I say to you.
Yeah, exactly.
And, which also kind of segues us into this other thing.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
It does.
Yeah. Dude, it's just flowing because this freaking Koyos. But, yeah, like, okay, so recently we've got these new sponsors, and hilarious stuff has been going on with that. But we've had a lot of people taking it out of context, and it's just been so stupid, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are so dumb sometimes.
See, the problem is they messaged John, or they sent John messages about it, and he's a little more, he's nicer than I am.
Public friendly, yeah.
Like, message me about it.
Yeah.
And you'll get it, because I don't care.
Yeah.
About what people think about, oh, you're not really sponsored. What does it matter to you?
Dude, right?
What does it matter to you if we're sponsored or not?
And not even just sponsored, but sponsored by Virgin Blood.
Yeah.
And Loose Condom Shops.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, okay, I'll just say, we're posting, like, we're doing videos for it, right? So we're going to be doing these commercials. It's going to be hilarious. Can't wait for them to come out. But we're doing these commercials for, like, sponsorship ads. They're doing fake commercials.
It's completely
hilarious.
Satire. It's satirical to the fullest extent.
Yes.
It's just like anything you see on Rick and Morty, like all of those fake commercials.
Yeah.
It's all satire.
That's where we're coming from.
Like, if you want to take that seriously, then you're a moron.
Yes.
And I'll say it to your face if you ask me.
It's true.
Message me about it. I'll tell you to fuck off. Because I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not for you. We're doing this because we love it.
Yeah. And, I mean, like, seriously, who could just look at, like, I posted, like, a lot of we made logos for them. I made logos in
and I thought that they were awesome.
Hilarious.
It cracked me up.
We'll post them on here. But, so we've got all these logos, posted all these, and we were like, thanks to our new sponsor, Prim Juice, Virgin Blood. And, like, a lot of people are like, oh, hey, congratulations. And I'm like, what? This is supposed to be funny. And so yeah, I just came out and said that, hey, it's just a joke. I'm letting you guys know it's just a joke. And then so many people like blew my phone up and were like, oh, that's shitty, man. You shouldn't lie about it. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? How do you not know that Prim's Virgin Blood does not sponsor our podcast? Like, it's so stupid.
And even if they did, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
It would be hilarious.
Seriously, we're just having fun.
Yeah.
With this thing that we created. That we do to have fun with. So, like, if that's not fun to you, don't watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't listen to us.
But it will be funny.
I don't care what you have to say about stuff that we find funny.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to find it funny, and we're going to do it no matter what you have to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. I mean, it's happening.
Like, get on with your life. Do something fun for yourself. Quit telling us to stop having fun.
Yeah. Dude, it's like whenever... first went on tour, man. I was so stoked about it. First tour. And posted like some stuff about it, just like, hey, going on tour. I think you with Horizontal Orange.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I got so much shit for that. So many people were like, and I care why? Like, just dick moves. And it was like people that we had played with in shows and like other concerts and stuff. I was like, what is your deal, dude? Jealousy. That's what it really boils down to. They're like not doing something fun with their life or whatever, or they're just in a bad place and they're just like
Nashville in general is, especially in the music scene, is full of that because it's such a competition here.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people doing it, and it's almost like the world of dating for women.
It's like, yeah, it's like
because they like a lot of women, and
I get what you're saying.
I guess maybe men sometimes. I don't know if men really do this. Maybe
in like smaller groups. You know what I mean? Like dudes, and there's like one good-looking girl. Then we'll do that.
Yeah, but they treat it as a competition.
Yes.
Like, oh, if this lady gets a man, then that's a man that I don't get.
Yeah.
Like that's how they treat it in a way.
I guess I've seen guys like that too. Yeah. That are like just get kind of like, you ever have that dude friend that's like a just he's a cool dude, but there's a girl around
him. If any guy around him gets a girl and he doesn't, he gets pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, or like, even if there's just a new girl that's in the room or something like that, he's like turns into a different person.
Yeah,
like that's always kind of
dumb. But that's how the music scene was.
It is.
If someone is, if like say that we have a band and then there's 3 or 4 bands that we play with, if we get a show without those bands, they're pissed about it.
Yeah, and they're talking shit the next day, dude.
Yeah,
and they're definitely not coming out to the show.
No.
Even if we're the band that gets these other bands on to the show with us, and then we get our own show out here to support us, they don't come to the show. They'd be like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then talk crap.
Yeah.
And I think that's so dumb, dude. I think as soon as people, like, can get past the pettiness of competition in the sense that, like, it's not a competitive sport. Like, in a thing like that, you're not competing against each other. You're, like, doing something you're passionate about, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just, like, Joe Rogan's thing, crabs in a bucket. Freaking, I love that expression, man. If they would stop trying to crawl and pull the other person down to just help each other out, they'd be good. But instead, everybody's just pulling each other down.
Yeah, and the crappiest part about it is if everybody stood together in the music scene to help each other make it farther, like they would actually all make it together. Yeah. Because even if like that camaraderie, even if one of these people made it while these other people were helping each other, they would pull them up.
Yeah.
Because these people helped them make it out.
Yeah. Exactly.
And people just don't see it that way.
Yeah, and one of the crazy things to me is like people that are outside of the music industry that get into it end up being some of the greatest supporters of the music industry. Like, point in case, Katie Cow. She's not a musician by any means, but think of how many musicians and like this whole community of musicians that she's made that's helped that whole scene. So like, she's not in that competitive mode in that scene. Though she might have people under her that she's supporting that are help move up, but like if more bands would look at the music industry like Katie's been looking at it, I think that they'd be better off. But instead
it's a team sport all around.
Yeah,
like the real enemy is the like the record labels and the brands that want to not pay you. That's the real enemy.
Like Victory Records before, I don't even know if they're still doing anything now, but like people like that are screwing you out of
the only people that were having Victory and Victory Records was the owners.
Yeah, dude. Between the Braid and Me got screwed, freaking...
because they started putting out greatest hits albums and putting all these bands' musics on it and not paying the bands for their songs.
And then A Day to Remember or something like that had like, they sued them in Nashville. Dude, it's nuts. But man, I actually think we're running out of time on this camera. But we've covered a lot of shit, dude.
Yeah, we did.
Kind of went on a rant. Thanks.
Biggest? Yeah, Koyos.
For getting us on a rant.
Yeah, because they're like really making our brains just go like pouring it out.
Yeah.
But biggest point is stop trying to come at us for stuff that we want to have fun with, because we're gonna do it anyways. No matter what you say. And
something on the same side of that is like, instead of having to come at us for doing something that we're enjoying doing, if you enjoy doing something, come tell us about it, man. Yeah. I fucking love hearing about it.
If you actually enjoy doing something with your own life, you wouldn't have time to come at us for doing something that we love. So do something that you love, get off of our backs, and we don't even care if you're on our backs in the first place, because we're still going to do what we want.
Damn right.
But if you're doing something that you love, get on our podcast and tell other people about it.
We're not these crabs in a bucket, man, okay? Yeah. We're freaking outside of the bucket, just looking in. How do we help other people out? And then... shit, I don't know,
It's just amazing to me how many people in this world are haters and think that their opinion matters.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, that's the world we live in. Because we live in a world where when someone complains, the company does something about it, because of the internet making complaints so broad.
Like that Sonic the Hedgehog thing. Did you see that? They're redesigning Sonic the Hedgehog after the flack they got, which I understand.
I completely understand it because they need to do that.
But at the same time, it's just like...
If this movie was being made in the early 2000s or 90s, there would be
There's no way they could have, yeah. But now all I gotta do is plug and play, you know? Like, oh, let's redesign him, and here he is, and everything.
Which, I mean, like, I was on board with Sonic the Hedgehog before the change just because of Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Because I think the fact that he is the villain is phenomenal.
It's gonna be pretty good. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But Sonic does need to be changed. I don't agree with how he looks.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So sometimes complaining is okay, I guess.
Yeah. It works out sometimes.
Yeah.
But hell yeah. Well, guys, next week we've got Tyler from Worthwhile Brand. I think the week after that we've got Malin Ray, the heavyweight for the Warriors Den. Just all around awesome dude, and we sponsor him. And
Wildside, though. He's on Wildside.
Wildside, that's who he's with. Yep. Sorry, I just meant he fights for the Warriors Den Fighting Championship. He was the champ. But we've got him coming on the week after that, and then this Saturday we're going to be doing the UFC live streams. So check out all that shit. Send your friends here, subscribe to us, and you got anything you want to close with?
If you don't like what we're doing, unsubscribe. Fuck off.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't care. Stay with it. Stay with us and keep complaining.
That would be cool.
It doesn't
too,
matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do.
Yes.
Like, we're doing this because we love it, and if you love it, then that's awesome. If you don't, that's awesome too. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Keep coming at us. It don't matter.
I think some of my favorite people in our chat rooms are
the people who like try and cause problems.
Yeah, I think they're my favorite people.
It's so funny because their words don't matter.
Yeah. I think the first comment we ever had on a live stream was you guys are getting on here just to look like some tools in the bedroom or something like that. Like just something really stupid. And I think that dude ended up turning out to be like one of our biggest fans of our live streams now because we fucked with him back. And we're like, whatever, I don't care. And then, I don't know. I like whenever people try to be trolls in our chat room because we just brush it off. It just rolls off our back, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't like people in general, but I like having conversations with people. Yeah. And I think that, you know, if you want to come at us and hate on us, that's fine. We'll have conversations with you anyways. But if you want to support us, that's fine too.
Hell yeah.
But we're still going to talk about whatever we want. And it doesn't matter what you want us to talk about. We're going to talk about whatever we want. So
yeah. Hell yeah, man. I like it. And I guess I'm going to end it with, like, I don't know. Come at us, bro. Hell yeah, man. But either way, we'll see you guys this Saturday on our live stream. Peace.